Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have an update to share about a couple of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So this first update is about Kene Lazo. You guys will definitely remember this guy. Shortly after his arrest for January 6th, his participation in the Capitol attack, Lazo was arrested again and charged with violating a child. Well, Lazo was allowed to plead guilty to the parading charge in regard to his January 6th activity. His sentencing hasn't taken place yet, though. That will take place in July. And in court, his attorney told the judge that that sexual battery charge or charges were either resolved already or near resolution. So I will definitely keep you guys posted on all of that. Next, I wanted to share the news about a January 6th defendant who's gotten himself into more trouble and is now facing new charges unrelated to January 6th. 36-year-old military veteran John Andries of Maryland was probably looking at a slap on the wrist for January 6th because although he was charged with the felony of obstructing an official proceeding, he didn't actually enter the Senate chamber. There's no evidence of that. There's also no evidence that he was violent at the Capitol. So without new information surfacing and new evidence, it was unlikely that that charge was going to stick. He was seen getting in officers' faces. He was waving his arms around. But like I said, there's no evidence of physical violence or that he actually touched any of them. So his case was probably going to end with a plea, probably parading or entering a restricted building, something equally meaningless. But what we keep seeing is that an awful lot of these people have a very entitled attitude, and it causes them to keep pushing the envelope. And on February 25th of this year, it ended with Andries arrested a second time. So this was his second arrest in 2 years. Andries was apparently at the Action Lounge and Billiards, and he was loaded. He was apparently loaded off his ass. According to an arrest report, police were called, and it was because a woman reported that Andries had pulled on her hair and then done some other things to make her uncomfortable. Well, when the police arrived, they tried to remove Andries from the facility. At first, he refused, and then they were finally able to get him outside, but Andries kept trying to come back in. He kept pulling on the door handle and trying to re-enter. So the police kept telling him, "You're not coming back in." Well, that's when police say that Andries poked a sergeant in the chest. So they put Andries in handcuffs. So Andries fought the officers. They were trying to move him to the police car, and he was fighting them. So he sat down on the ground. So the officers ended up dragging Andries to the vehicle, and then they tried to force him inside, physically push him inside. And as they were trying to place his legs inside of the vehicle, apparently he kept trying to kick the sergeant, the same Sergeant Fleener. So in addition to his charges for January 6th, he's now charged with disorderly conduct, second-degree assault on a law enforcement officer, and resisting arrest. You know, we have to recognize a pattern. We have to recognize the pattern and the bigger picture in all of this. These people weren't at the Capitol on January 6th simply because they support Trump. They were at the Capitol on January 6th, and they support someone like Trump because they have issues, and they haven't dealt with those issues yet. You know, physically and emotionally healthy people make better choices. It's just that simple. Anyway, unfortunately for now, you guys aren't going to believe this, but the judge is refusing to revoke his bond and send him back to jail to await trial. Now, here's my question. This guy was refusing to get in the police car, right? He was clearly intoxicated. Why didn't they give him the George Floyd treatment? I'm not saying I wish that on him. I don't wish harm on this guy, but he clearly needs help. And I'm sick and tired of the racists in this country spouting off about how white privilege doesn't exist. This is a clear example. So anyway, I'll let you guys know what happens with this one, and I will keep you informed on others. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.